Greetings, Jedi traders. David here of TradingFibs.com to bring you the trend momentum outlook for week 4 of 2018. As always, please seek financial advisement when trading with your money, as these videos are for educational purposes only. Support your knowledge of the market, see what's going through my head on any given day or week. Always make sure you have a solid trading plan, and always manage your stop when placing a trade. All right, Jedi traders, good to see you. Been a slow start here to 2018. Trying to get the videos here rolling, so should be getting them here more consistently. Got to get the weekend recap out here for you as the market is set to open up here in about 3 to 4 hours. Let's do a quick recap of week 3 here. Let's take a look at the charts. Take a look at the daily gaps as price action just as soon as you thought 2018 was going to be the turnaround year to the downside. Obviously, we continue to make all-time highs, even though RTY struggling a little bit here. Managed to hit an all-time high at the week. Volume not bad, surpassing that 60-day volume period on all 4 indices. Couple of days during the week. NQ finishing out the week at the all-time high. YM finishing, hitting that twice during the week. And ES with an all-new all-time high for the week. So you can see definitely momentum uptrend in the market. Taking a look at the ES moving averages. That's right. They're all in sync. Just another way of looking at trend. Multiple ways looking at trend here with Trading Fibs. And obviously, this isn't an intraday strategy. This is just a mere perspective of where's the overall technical momentum in the markets. And obviously you could say that it is upside, nothing showing anything downside at this point, as all moving averages holding above one another. And the big picture, that's right, S&P 500 futures. There it is, 14-month uptrend as we continue to move up here. Q1 on the MMLs, the Murray math levels, Fibonacci levels, cam levels, whatever it is, projection levels of where markets might offer resistance, where they look for support. We're looking again for that downturn. Once we pass through resistance and then start coming back down and passing through, we'll be looking then for the support. But until that point, we continue to look at these upside levels here on the weekly. So just the bigger overall appreciation that the market still continues to be in an uptrend. All right, let's take a look at some of the ETFs that I follow here for overall market momentum, starting with the total stock market index. Price action here again holding above the perspective on a daily, moving averages, all holding upside. HA bars, Heiken Ashi bars, another way of indicating trend in the market. You can see here as we head up, we just hit the resistance. So what if we're seeing any pullback? Again, I'm not one to call out the highs. I'm always looking for market to pull up and then start to come back. Let's see if we can pull up above resistance. If market were simply to hold up in this area and then start to come back down and show me trending candles down below the resistance. That's right. I'm not catching the high, but at least I'm starting to catch the momentum of the trend downside. Then what I'll see is maybe a cross below the 10-period moving average, a start of an indicator of a downtrend, and then I'll start to look down to major support resistance. So it's not about catching the high, it's about catching the wave. Where in the wave are you going to catch it? We're not there yet. Overall market, we can go all the way up here to 148.44, which is the reversal level. Is the weekly also hitting a resistance here? Upper levels here, 150. I think the indicator here shows that we are currently still in a strong trend. IBD 50, another way of indicators of strong fundamental stocks. When we're high, we go higher. That's right. Pushing to another MML level up here, 35.94. We have all the way up to 37.11 in week 3 of the market, pushing and breaking through the resistance level. We're not done yet. Here's another resistance. We have all the way up to 37.11 here. We'll see what happens up here. We start to get some trending candles back downside. Then we'll make that call of the turnaround. I apologize. Meant to pull out that SPY chart on the ES futures. There it is. Price action again. Reaching up here, 281.25 is the level, both on the daily and the weekly. So again, another indicator of strong trend. So there we go. Total stock market index. Let's take a look at the FANG stocks ETF. There it is. Majority of the stocks held in this ETF representing those strong tech stocks, strong fundamental solid Heiken Ashi bars hitting up the upper MMLs. headed up here to 117.97 as we break through the higher resistance. So indicators still all upside. There's your levels upside. We'll watch to see what happens at these reversals. If we have to, we'll pull another projection upside. But right now, trend continues to be upside. If technical momentum continues to be upside, that can start to play intraday, where you know that the bigger move of the day typically will be buying the dip at this point. I'm not saying that's what you need to do every day, as somewhere along the way there'll be a correction. There'll be no opportunity to take that dip and buy it, but riding the trend down will be an option. We'll show you what that can look like, but for now, it's been all uptrend. All right, taking a look at the dollar index, obviously on the ETF here, showing the downside movement. Again, we had that little bit of a pullback here around December, but she resumed her trend. Exactly what we've been talking about for the last couple of months. It just took a little pullback here. MML's turnaround. So this is what we're looking at as we see market action pull up above resistance and then make a turnaround, pull back down under the moving averages. There we go. We're now in a downtrend. So you pick up the trend over here and you ride it down. That's the way you do it. That's the way you catch a wave. And so once price action moves down, you can use the MMLs to support your trade management by trailing behind at given levels, or you just remain in the trend as long as Heikin Ashi bars are pointing downwards. So appreciate the weekly MML support down here. So we'll have to watch daily. We still have weekly. Weekly, we're at, we can get down here to 23.54, which would put us down here at the reversal of daily, which we've already met. But we have a little bit more trending downside. We'll have to see how the week plays out on the dollar. We still can pull some further downside projections, but we were looking at these levels several months ago, and here we are. So welcome dollar index at the lows. We do have a little bit more, maybe 23.44 at this point. Hey guys, been playing around with the Bloomberg Commodity Index here, having some fun with some charts. Here is the DJP. This is an ETN of the Commodity Index. You can see price action here. Heikin Ashi bars, MML levels, obviously uptrends on the Commodity Index, holding a little bit of consolidation here at the overbought on the bigger picture. The bigger picture, if you extend the line all the way out to the side here, you can see that that's the bigger picture. Shorter term is over here since about mid-December. So upper levels here, we're looking at 25 on the DJP, which brings up, which I've been playing around with, the Bloomberg Index at a 180-day chart. Here we go. We got 3 above. There's your red line. That's your base of the Commodity Index for 180 days, around 6 months, give or take around 5 to just between 6 and 8% here return, as we hold 3 above here, and we got 4 below the Commodity Index. So appreciate that. And the NIAD, as we see advancers and decliners, again, an indicator of technical momentum. As long as the NIAD and the INDU, the INDU, are holding in sync above side, you want to make sure advancers or decliners are moving in sync. This here is an indicator of market still momentum upside. All right, so I think the appreciation for week 3 is that we're still in a technical momentum upside, whether it's total stock market index, IBD 50, we're looking at dollar index, finding a little bit of support downside, daily gaps, we pulled them up. There they are, making some new all-time highs for the week. All right, having said that, let's take a look at where we are with, let's pull up the daily gaps here. Our nearest daily gaps downside, taking the bigger picture out, we see the volume all the way down. Let's just appreciate that the nearest open gap here on the RTY down at 1405. So any deep pullback will be starting to look, obviously, a little bit maybe support here down here around 1460-ish. But anything deeper to close out open gaps, we'll be heading down to 1357. NQ furthest closest to open gap down here at 65.23, YM down here at 25.58, and ES nearest open gap at 51.75. All right, hey guys, I want to pull up a quick chart of trend for the week as we look at intraday charts. RTY, great example of the week as price action here. Whether you're watching the MMLs or not, we're looking for the highest, okay? The indicators, trend, Heikin Ashi bars using as momentum bars. We're using a T3 moving average crossover. We're using a 5144 overlay cloud. You could throw in a VWAP. And the highest probability setups is when everything's in sync after the moving averages crossover. Whether you're able to hang on for the ride here or whether you're able to re-enter after being stopped out at break even. These were numerous opportunities on the RTY. Again, 10-7 flex Renko, a little bit noisier. If you had gone to a 15 tick, you'll still get the tail here, but a little bit of a different picture. So Very nice move here on Friday on the Russell, and also using the MMLs as a support level and resistance. Nice, great way to look at market trend intraday, which you have to be ready in both directions. All right, let's take a look at where we are headed for the week. Here's the CL current trend on the crude, still holding upside here at 64. Calls for a little bit higher, maybe get back up here to 64.84, retest the highs all the way up to 65.43. Bigger picture on the weekly, we're headed up to 67.19. Overall trend, Heiken Ashi bars pulling back here. Got to watch that 10 EMA. If we continue to pull back on the crude, we'll be watching the 50s down here, which will put us around 59.60, which will then put us all the way down at the MML lows support, all the way down here to reversal, somewhere in the area of the reversal of the shorter term and the longer term major support resistance on the daily. So very doable if crude is to pull back that deep. If not, we continue to head up higher as trend continues to be all in the green. Taking a look at the GC on the gold here. Gold continues to move upside, holding above the 51.44 here, holding right at the 10-period moving average. I believe I might be missing a 10-period moving average. I'll get that on there for next week. But we're holding up, again, above all perspective moving averages. We're still on the green. So gold, after we talked about that 12.50, we found that major support there in December. We mentioned that. We talked about it. We saw a bounce. Here we are back upside at the same highs, 13.43 as we were back in August, September. So we'll see exactly what happened. Look, we got the exact same reject again. So got to appreciate those MMLs both on the weekly and the daily. Look at that daily here in January. We got that move off of 13.12 after that 12.50. And then resistance right there at 13.43. So those MMLs, love them on the bigger picture, especially starting with the 30-minute charts intraday. I'll go ahead and show you those here at the end as we head into the week. All right, taking a look at the futures here. ES index futures got support there at the 10 EMA this week on the 16th. Price action held up. Again, we had a holiday session. I think it was last week. Correct, last Monday. So a little bit of a slow week to get started, but price action on the ES, like we saw on the bigger picture, continues to move upside. Here we are, 28.12. We got all the way up to 81.50 here on the daily to watch. But again, a little bit of double resistance here, so we'll see what happens. But as long as we're holding above those moving average, current technical momentum remains upside. 28.12 here, 50, 14-month uptrend. Looking up to 28.71 on the bigger picture. Taking a look at the NQ tech industry, holding above, strong as a bull here, above the 10-period moving average, above the 50, all in the green now for the first third week of the month of 2018. We're looking at week 4 outlook here as price action on the dailies headed up here. Watch that 68.75 all the way up to 70.31. And there it is on the weekly as well, 71.87.50. Bigger picture on the weekly as the trend continues upside. Any pullback, again, at this point, we'll always look to the major support resistance on a daily first. Look down to the support levels, and then we'll be looking for the break of the 10-period moving average and always looking for the next key moving average, which would be the 50. All right, taking a look at the Russell. The Russell price action, again, hitting those all-time highs, but pulling back a little bit off the resistance here on the daily as we head up to 16, 17, 12. Here on the weekly, we could still a little bit of room. Headed up here to 16.25 is the bigger picture. Again, appreciate it that we're sitting above the 10-period moving average, above the 50. We're all in the green, so momentum still upside here on the RTY. But if we're to pull back at any point here below 1562, I'll start be looking down on the dailies to these levels downstairs, especially on an intraday basis. All right, last futures here. The YM which was been a strong bull here for January. Price action lifting, making 2 new all-time highs for the week 3 as we head into week 4. We're looking up here to 172. Let's revisit that level all the way up to 318. Bigger picture, obviously, those are the levels to look at. But shorter term, as we plow right back the bigger picture, we got to pull those shorter terms. And you can see here, 26,172 could be a level of stall in the market. But again, we'll see what happens. As long as price action continues to move forward, we have projection lines continuing upside. Best scenario at this point, anything long-term ETF is either rebalance that portfolio Take out excess of 3%, put it in a bond account as Jason Kelly does in the 3 Sig strategy, or just continue to move your stops upside on the bigger picture. But again, we're here talking about intraday. Intraday, you got to be ready in both directions on the charts, and that's exactly what I showed you here as we take a look at the RTY, whether it's to the upside or taking a look at moves to the downside. For instance, YM pullbacks, same picture. Intraday got to be ready in both directions. Even though markets can turn right back up, that's a nice move to the downside. Same strategy as we see there on the bigger picture. Solid hike at Ashi bars, trending down, everything in sync. The strategy or the discipline is to wait for everything to be in sync. All right, there are the charts. That's the technical momentum outlook for week 4. Taking a look at the big indices as we head in. Again, I like the MMLs on the 30-minute. Got to appreciate, as you can see, this is pretty much pre-market overnight covering, which we lead into the U.S. Open. You found that support there on Friday around mid AM session, and there it was by the dip all the way upside to the upper MML. So 30-minute chart gives you some good direction when you find that support downside. You splice into the smaller charts, the smaller time frames off the bigger time frame, and can appreciate that trend held on the MML. So here we are sitting into Sunday's Open RTY again. We're at that MML reversal on the 30 minutes. So if we're to break upside, we break upside. We got new MML levels. If we're headed downside, we'll watch for the entry below 93.8 unless we get all 3 charts in the red, and we could take a short downside. Watch the major support, 1585.9. ES found that MML resistance upside, so we either break through to YM up to 26.11 and continue that uptrend, or we pull back here to 977. Obviously, geopolitical landscape could always make some short move, but overall, got to appreciate the technicals and the business fundamentals of the economy at this point. All right, let's roll into the week as we roll into week 4 here on the economic calendar. Monday, January 22nd, looking for the Red Star events. Again, petroleum here on Wednesday, PMI on Wednesday as well. Jobless claims, GDP, watch out for on Friday. Any other, again, this is earnings season, guys. Got to keep your eyes open as we roll in towards the end of January here, beginning of February. We're starting to have those tech industries reporting, so keep an eyes open for earnings. All right, Jedi traders, in case I forgot anything, I'll make sure I post that online. That concludes the insight into the not only the trend here, but the technical momentum outlook for the week. Feel free to stop by here at my website, Trading Fibs. Lots of stuff to look at from education on the MMLs. If you guys are interested more in the MMLs, you can go ahead and click on the tab here. A couple of different videos, including the Murray math levels and hike and Ashi bars. Again, looking to do an update soon, just to appreciate the bigger picture. But coming up here with Infinity Futures, I got a webinar on volume-based bars in your trading. Another way of looking at trend. Let me go ahead and pull up actually that chart I meant to show you. Right there, we're working on a strategy here that allows us allows traders to use momentum of a moving average crossover together with a slope change and the indicator bars indicating, again, we have a VWAP here to indicate whether to take moves above the VWAP or below the VWAP, up to your discretion. But again, these indicator bars that you see right here is an indicator of closing down a certain amount from the previous bar. It's a momentum, whether you hang on for the entire move or you take a scalp. One of the biggest questions people say is, how do I trade a choppy market? How do I use scalping to my best ability? This is a very nice strategy. Again, if $100 is your goal for the day, or times 2 contracts, $200, done, you're out. Get that early morning move. These are the kind of moves you might be looking for. So you might want to check out that webinar. If not, it will be available via the archives, and I'm sure I'll have a link for that. So make sure you sign up for that. Infinity Futures on February 1st. All right, feel free to stop by again. Trading Fibs for the simple strategy, any market, any chart, any time frame will keep you disciplined. You can find me here at StockTwits, as well as my Twitter account at Trading Fibs. I always leave the crystal ball to the experts. Just watching what's on the charts, guys. I'm not trying to figure out what's happening tomorrow. I don't have an overall bias because you got to just leave that at the door. Hey, if you're interested in joining us like-minded traders, feel free. Where is it here? There it is. Go ahead to the page here where it says membership. Again, no hard sell here. If you guys are interested in just joining us, want to check us out here on a Thursday or Friday, feel free to email me, david@tradingfibs.com. We'll get you in the room, see if you like it. You don't. Got some solid traders in the room that got good minds in their head and discipline and been with us for a while. All right, week 4. Trying to get back in the groove here for 2018. Got a lot on my plate, but little by little, we'll make sure we get it done. Until then, have yourselves a Blue Zone day. If you're not sure what that is, just look it up, bluezones.com. And wherever you may be, have yourselves a good day, a good night, and good trading to you for week number 4.